I think this is more exciting than that, to be honest. It starts with this tweet last Wednesday. Eric X said, accurate super heavy descent profile, and this is just CGI. And Elon said, we're going to try to catch the super heavy booster with the launch tower arm, using the grid fins to take the load.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Stop. This is different.
Yeah, it is.
So what Elon is saying there is you have the super heavy.
And that again is what?
That is the thing that launches Starship into space. You can think of it as
booster rocket.
You can think of it as like the Falcon 9 booster for the Dragon capsule, but amped up really big.
So, I mean, Starship is already tall. We're talking about making it really tall.
Right. We're talking a ginormous booster. And now, instead of having it come back and land, which is already kind of crazy, we're saying, no, it's not gonna land on the ground. We're going to catch it by the grid fins.
Wait, what?
So the grid fins, for those of you who haven't learned much about SpaceX, actually have some. So one of our fans sent us these lovely gold grid fins with our logo in the middle.
Wow.
The real ones don't have the logo in the middle, but just for a minute. These are the ones that are on the Falcon 9, but the ones that we're talking about for the Super Heavy are going to be way bigger, and these aren't to scale, obviously. So you have your rocket, right? And this sticks out, and as it's falling down through the air, you can tilt it, and there's 4 of them, and that allows you to steer the rocket on its way down through the atmosphere.
How's it going to land on them?
You get a thing, and it's going to stick out and land on all 4 grid fins.
Oh, glad you explained that, because I was like,
I don't get it. That's like landing rockets is hard enough.
wow.
But now you're essentially saying, hey, we're going to catch the rocket in a circle, like it's going to land.
All right, well, let's continue with the tweets here.
Right.
So, self-appointed Pope said, too much stress on the landing legs for it to land on the pad by itself, and Elon said,
legs would certainly work, but best part is no part. Best step is no step.
And then Viv said, you're truly playing Kerbal, the real world edition, aren't you? Is this mostly to delete the weight of legs from the design or any other reason? Will precision stability of landing be the same or even better than with the legs?
Elon said, saves mass and cost of legs and enables immediate repositioning of booster on launch mount, ready to refly in under an hour. So let's break that down for a second. So you have the rocket, right? And so every little bit of weight that you strap onto that rocket means that that's less weight that you can shoot up into space and eventually Mars and whatnot.
Oh, right. So the legs were only needed for landing, and he, by reusing the grid fins for 2 purposes, gets to delete the legs.
Right. You may as well take all of the stuff that you'd need for the legs, like shock absorbers and stuff like that, put it on the ground, and just have it kind of land on something that'll do what all the job of the legs, but leave that on the ground.
Oh, leg! You're looking for a leg!
Then James Stevenson said, yeah, you could build shock absorbers into the launch stand's arms without having to worry about any weight penalty. And Elon said,
exactly.
So wait, there's going to be shock absorbers built into it too?
Yeah, everything that you would have had to strap onto the rocket and de-efficientifies it, you're going to now have on the base of the launch pad.
So then Viv said, also, what implications does this have for drone ship landings? Or will all Starship drone ships essentially be fully fledged ocean spaceports, including launch mount?
And Elon said, yes.
Wait a minute. So now we're talking ocean spaceports?
Yes. Well, let's just think about it. What is an ocean?
Okay.
It's a big, flat, squishy body of land.
Yeah, without people around.
You can't build buildings on an ocean.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to land interplanetary travel, if you wanted to land at a city, if you want to travel from one city to another, you'd either have to drive really far to get to some unpopulated area.
Right.
You leave a city and there's still the suburbs. People aren't going to take too kindly to like, oh, we're putting in a big, loud rocket. It's going to come in and go, and then it'll land. And everyone's going to go, not in my backyard. So to put it out in the ocean, you have the Ocean Star Port, and you just take a fast boat or a helicopter or a drone or a boring tunnel thing out there, and then you're not near anybody, so the noise no longer becomes an issue.
And what was really cool is once he put it out there, all of the Twitterverse started figuring out how to help him. Yeah. So Small Stars said, ever since Elon nonchalantly commented on our booster landing that would try to catch the booster with the tower, Eric X Space and I have been debating a few different solutions for a catching mechanism. This one is my favorite so far.
And Elon said, rocket motion is primarily vertical, so you want to keep the top open.
So they had to go back to the drawing board and
Right.
redo it. So, and there's been dozens since then.
So Viv mentioned earlier, real life Kerbal. And you might be saying, like, what the heck is Kerbal? It is a game called Kerbal Space Program where you get to make your own rockets, launch them, control them. You can land on moons, travel to other planets, do all sorts of things. And it's been kind of the introduction for a lot of people in the past 10 years of what is space travel? How do you do it? There's the saying like, oh, this isn't rocket science. You guys should be able to get it. And honestly, once you kind of understand the basics, rocket science isn't that hard. It's just extraordinarily expensive, and it is also very hard. But the basics of it aren't unlearnable to most people. And I think that Kerbal might have something to do with this kind of like plucky, let's try it kind of mentality about space travel. Whereas before it was just like, well, let's leave it to the professionals.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching Now You Know Clips.
You can watch full episodes of Tesla Time News on Mondays and in-depths on Fridays. Just click the link down below to head over to the Now You Know channel.